Hello, this video is to help you understand how to use the new catch source field available in SAFIS and on the trip level reporting forms. This new field is going to impact any record in which you CAR a species or any record in which the landing comes from an aquaculture lease. This new field will be available beginning in June. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at the number listed on the screen or by email, or you can visit our website for more information as well. Hopefully this video will clarify a few of the changes. So let's get started. First, what is catch source? Previously, the gears and disposition fields had captured certain data that were not technically gears or dispositions. For example, the placed in CAR disposition, the aquaculture disposition, and the research set-aside dispositions. Therefore, a new field titled catch source was created to capture this information while retaining the correct gear and disposition information as well. So what changed? Catch source is now going to capture all of the landings that were placed in CAR, all the landings that are from aquaculture, all the landings that are from research set-aside, and then any other trip or any traditional trip is going to be indicated as standard for now. So what actually was removed? The disposition of placed in CAR, the aquaculture disposition, and all three RSA dispositions were actually removed. Aquaculture is also removed from the gear options. So instead, you'll be using one of the four catch sources, and each landing will get a specific catch source attributed to it. Alright, so that's a little bit about the background, so let's go into how it actually looks on the eTrip form. So I'm bringing you to the test database. This is where we test all new things that are added to SAFIS. In this case, we'll go over the catch source, go over how to create a new trip report, and how it influences both the CARring and the aquaculture landings. So to get started, go to your main trip reports page. This will be done by clicking the trip reports button in your gray navigation box, and go to create new trip report. Alright, so I set my favorites up before I got started to make this video go quickly and smoothly. So as in any trip report that already has favorites, you want to select your start date. I'm going to select Memorial Day. Start time was 0600. My fishing time, or my lobster pots, were soaking for 4 days. And now that brings me down to my catch. I caught some Jonah crab and I caught some lobsters. I sold the Jonah crab directly to a dealer. I sold a portion of the catch of the lobster to a dealer, and the other portion I placed in my car. So as you can see, that disposition is now set to food, but the sales disposition does still include that placed in car notation. So to start fill this out, I'm going to say that I caught 55 pounds of Jonah crab that was sold to a dealer, and then I sold 10 pounds of lobster directly to the dealer, and then I carred another 37 pounds of lobster. As you scroll over, now you'll see that catch source field at the end here. The standard indicates that the trip was a traditional commercial trip where you go out, haul the gear, bring it back in the catch, and then sell that to a dealer or keep it for personal use, etc. So that Jonah crab line and that lobster line that's sold to a dealer, that gets that standard designation. However, this card line, this line that is not a typical standard trip, as in it was not sold directly once you return to the dock, you would click that, and now you have those four options I discussed earlier. You would just choose card, and that's it. That's how you would indicate that a species was placed in a car. And then the sales disposition placed in car means that it puts it into the fishbowl for later removal for sale. All you have to do is hit save, approve, and now you can review. You can also see that the catch source is shown on this review page as well. Now you can just make sure that everything is correct and click finish. So now if you need to go back in and edit the trip, you can do so by clicking the edit button, same as you always have been. Also, any carved lobster from that trip should end up in the fishbowl. The fishbowl can be accessed through the eTrip menu, and that's where you would choose to remove any of your card species or card pounds for later sale, or if you decide to keep them or discard them later, you can denote all of that through that fishbowl. So now I'm going to go through and show you an aquaculture example. So I'll just click Create New Trip. I've already reset the favorites for this to indicate an aquaculture scenario. So again, the first thing you want to do is put in your date. You put this in as yesterday. Start time of 0700. Fishing time, I spent about 4 hours harvesting from my aquaculture plot. And I caught about 250 oysters that I sold to a dealer. And now for this catch source over here, I want to make sure that I put in aquaculture. What this does is it indicates that I sold a cultured product and not a wild caught product, and it is data that we need to acquire. So one change that will be evident for oyster growers is that we no longer have that aquaculture gear to use. And we also don't have a gear that technically fits an oyster aquaculture scenario. Because of that, you will need to use this other gears designation for your gear type. However, if you're harvesting any other species via aquaculture, and there is an appropriate gear that you can put in that's appropriate to that species, please do so. For example, rakes for clams, etc. But that is really the only difference, just to make sure that the catch source says aquaculture and that you put in the appropriate gear. Once you're done, you click Save, you approve, and you can review. Remember, you can see that aquaculture designation under catch source here, and you can review anything else there. If it's correct, just click Finish. Now you can see my trips are here. I can go back in and edit. Same as always. Just remember to change those catch sources when you have a card species, an aquaculture species, or in the rare case for Massachusetts fishermen, the research set-aside trips. If you are reporting them via a state boat, those will be noted in the catch source field as well. Everything else should get a standard designation. If you have any questions, please contact us at the phone number or email listed here. And you can also find additional information on our website. Thanks for watching.